And I can't wait to hear what Tim says, but first we're going to go to Aaliyah.
Okay, so full disclosure, I did not have an opportunity to watch FitFest this weekend, so I don't know how that played out. But just based on what I saw on Instagram, it looked like it went pretty well for them. I think with 6-person teams, the way that it used to be at the games, it was a lot easier for a team to kind of like hide somebody's weakness. If somebody had a specific weakness in strength or gymnastic skill or something like that, there was generally the programming allowed for them to kind of hide that weakness. With the 4-person team, I really like that it doesn't allow the team to hide weaknesses, and everybody needs to be firing on all cylinders for everything. I think that makes it a lot more exciting. I think it makes it more accurate test of who is truly the fittest team. Like Nikki and James said, it gets very chaotic trying to watch teams of 6 on the floor versus teams of 4. So I think from a broadcast and a spectator perspective, teams of 4 are a much better option for the CrossFit Games. But I do like the idea of having the 6-person team like FitFest did as more of an exhibition style event rather than a high pressure competition event, as an opportunity for athletes to get some exposure, show off some cool skills, make a little bit of money, and not be completely obliterated by the end of the weekend.
4 points for Aaliyah. I like that concept of, you can't hide anybody. All of the athletes got to show up. Okay, Tim.
Yeah.
Let us have it.
Well, everyone took all the good ideas.
What do you got to say to James?
Oh no, I was shaking my head at James because that was literally what I was like. Nikki's right on. Like 4-person teams are where it's at. I think just if we're gonna say yes or no, like 4-person teams are far better for all the reasons everybody's already talked about. And my pitch was going to be for basically 2-person teams, like doing mixed gender pairs. And it was like, it's like, tennis doubles basically, but for CrossFit. So I guess like my like next step down from there, I think would be, it might be a cool idea and like route to go if we did the professional side of CrossFit was, like at the games where we had like, the team competition or the doubles competition, you have mixed gender pairs, and then the actual affiliate cup was 6-person teams, because then you're actually looking at like, if we're going back to all the reasons that you shouldn't have 6-person teams, it's hard to storytell, things like that, but you actually really want to test the cohesiveness and strength of a group of people. That's where you could really kind of nut out, like, who's the best affiliate? Like, who's the fittest affiliate, most well-rounded affiliate? And theoretically, all these people would be, if it's, would actually be going to classes together. They'd be training in the same gym together all the time, not like the super teams that we see now, because the people who are, the going for this team championship would be going as mixed pairs. They'd be going as just a male and a female. You throw it down together and like whatever the rules might be around that. So that would be my pitch if we're going to say that 4-person teams is the way to go, which I think it is. But and the kind of nuance around that, like I said, that's where I'd go.
5 points because I like that there's some options in this answer.
Wait, I think though, if you bring back like the true affiliate cup, which by the way, I am all for. I love
James,
that
when
idea.
are they going to bring it back?
Yeah, come on, buddy.
Don't you have
I told you, I don't have a lot of insight into the game stuff right now.
I mean, technically,
but for the right price, I could find the answer.
Yeah, I would pay for that deep info. I just think that if you bring back the affiliate cup, you bring back the original structure where everyone in the affiliate can participate and put their scores in, and you're taking the top scores from the people in the entire gym to kind of determine what your final ranking or who your official quote unquote team members are. I mean, obviously gyms are going to stack their affiliates like with the 4 people who they want to be. But I just loved back in the day when you were like, you would just wait for everyone's scores to come in, and then you would figure out like who your people were going to be if you were going to send a team from your affiliate to regionals based upon the scores that happened during the affiliate cup. I loved that. And it really encourages everyone to participate. Even if you do it scaled, like you're not going to be the one going, but you're a part of something bigger in your gym.
Lots of things that can happen. James, you have more pull than any of us on the call right now.
Yeah.
What happened, James? Come on.
I have zero pull, but I like the idea of the affiliate cup, and actually having people represent affiliates for all the reasons you said, Nikki. You said it perfectly. I just don't know what that format looks like and how you police it. Having been on that side of like having to prove you train at an affiliate X amount of times, it was a brutal thing to like adhere to and regulate, and it was hard for the games team, I think, to follow up with all the details of it. So ultimately, I don't know what that looks like.
That's fair.
But that doesn't mean there's not an answer. So I definitely, for the historical reasons and community reasons, I like it a lot.
Okay. Well, moving on now to topic 3. It seems like in some capacity we talk about the media space ecosystem in several different ways on multiple episodes here of Death By. So my question is, should CrossFit hire back a media team again? Doesn't necessarily need to be as big as it was in 2018 and prior, but some sort of established media team. Or is the ecosystem actually better when it has several competing media outlets? Aaliyah, we will let you start this round.
I think the answer is both. I do think that
you
CrossFit...
can't say both. Pick one.
No, I do think that CrossFit needs to have an actual full media team like they used to have. I think that will allow them to be the first to put out information instead of relying on these third-party sources, and it will make CrossFit an actually reliable source of information, because I think right now people don't trust that they will get information from CrossFit right now because they don't have the media team to actually be putting it out on a regular cadence with, the full knowledge of everything going on. Like this week or last weekend, there was one post about Wheelwad Games. I don't know that I saw any posts about the Legends Masters Championship. And missing those opportunities, I think, has a lot to do with the fact that CrossFit doesn't have the media team that they used to have. However, I think having all of these additional competing media sources just raises the level of the content across the board. So CrossFit can kind of control the narrative of what they want to put out, but then you've got all of these other media sources that can almost kind of specialize in other like specific areas of CrossFit. Like Scott Schweitzer from Clydesdale knows everything there is to know about the Masters competition. I think Talking Elite Fitness is you guys have that guy down in Australia who knows all about the Australian athletes. Like having
Jeremy Austin.
Yes, thank you. Having those third-party sources that can really hone in on a specific topic, I think just adds to the value of media as a whole. But I do think that CrossFit needs a more dedicated media team to control the narrative, to become that reliable source of information.
There is a world where there can be both. Aaliyah, you'll get 4 points for that. James.
Oh man, this is a hard one. This is a hard one for me. I think, not everyone's going to agree with me on this. CrossFit does a lot as a company, and the hard thing about media is it does require a lot of resources. Now, that doesn't mean there's not a good reason for CrossFit to really lay into this and do this again.